Welcome to Study Loop.
For this question, let's first tackle part A. To start part A, we need to first observe the graph, and we can see that there are two distinct features. The features are that first, it contains two loops, one clockwise, one anti-clockwise. And what do the two loops represent? Well, we know that the clockwise loop represents positive work done, and the anti-clockwise loop represents negative work done. And then we make another observation, which is the area under the loop. For the clockwise loop, it's bigger. This means that area clockwise is bigger than area anti-clockwise. And why do we need to know that? We need to know that for the later part of this question. But for now, we found our answer, and we know that this is system 1 and this is system 2. So for work done for system 1 is greater than 0, and work done for system 2 is less than 0. And what if we sum the two systems? We get the whole system, and the whole system is greater than 0, since we know that W1 is bigger than W2 as their area is bigger. Now for part B, we need this information from part A, and we need another formula. The formula states that del U equals to Q minus W. Now if we look at the graph, we see that it's a closed loop, meaning that the graph begins and ends at the same time, at the same point. So for any closed loop, del U is always equals to 0. So you can conclude that Q equals to W. But what have we found about the W, which is the W system of the whole system? We found out that W system is greater than 0, which means that Q system is also greater than 0. So what does it tell about the heat flow? It tells that heat flows into the system. Now part C. Now to observe part C, we divide the graph into two parts, which results in two different closed loops. As we know, the first closed loop is clockwise and the second closed loop is anti-clockwise. For the first closed loop, W1 is greater than 0, as we know. And for the second closed loop, W2 is less than 0. Since they are closed loop, we know again that the Q equals to W. So that means that Q1 must also be greater than 0. Similarly, for system 2, Q2 must be less than 0. So what does it tell about the heat flow? It tells that since Q is greater than 0, we know that heat flows into the system. And since Q is less than 0, we know that heat flows out of the system. And these two individual systems add up, as we know the in is bigger than the out. That's why for the whole system, the heat flows in. And that concludes a solution.